Hey folks, it's Jer, and today we have a new review. It is Days of War. Coming from a development studio, Designer Arts, it's actually their first game, and they said that they wanted to recreate the atmosphere from the good old games like Day of Defeat, Medal of Honor, the first Call of Duty, and I do believe they have been successful with the early access we have up to now for Days of War. Basically, if you haven't had the chance to play these games before multiplayer, they're very fast-paced, skill-based, and not like you need to invest time to unlock stuff and very long matches. It is really a game, up to now that I can see, that you can simply log on, play as long as you want, log off, and that's it. That's the whole point of the game, is just to play. Nothing to unlock, no prestige, nothing of that. And I believe that the studio has been quite successful at this point, but there's a couple of downsides. First, let's see why they're being so successful. I think first is that we do have a lot of classes available from the start. What's fun is that you can pick any of these classes from the first time you play, you log into the game. There are a couple of classes that will be limited throughout the map, so you don't have too many people running the same kits. There's no restriction, you can pick whatever you want to play as long as there's space for it. And another interesting thing is the whole system is based on skill-based aiming, I guess. One thing I did find not so satisfying while playing is aiming down sight is terrible in this game. I don't know why. There's like a stutter when you try to aim down sight, and the aiming is just terrible. It feels like it doesn't help at all. It only gives you a zoom and block off some of your view. So I found out that just using the normal crosshair is more than efficient to be able to play this game. Another interesting thing we get in the early access here is we do have access to 4 maps. I don't know exactly which one are original, but I do remember Quarantine from the first Call of Duty, and it is a good port, a good rendition of it, and I do see the inspiration comes from that in the older games, in the older maps, and it's been quite successful for that. And now let's talk a little bit about the sound. The sound effect of the guns sounds natural, not too stereotypical from the movies or the games. It's really enjoyable to hear, but we do have some problem with voices, because I don't know if it's maybe just the settings I have, but I've been playing Germans, the character will be speaking in English, just like they're Americans, which make it sound a little bit odd and could probably lead you to commit the team kill at first. And as well as that, there is no music in the game right now, so it does give a little bit of a more troubling setting, it seems. No music in this kind of game is a bit odd, but it's still early access, so we cannot really blame. One thing we can blame them on though is that at the moment there's no current anti-cheat system on the game. There's nothing. I've played a couple of hours. I haven't had any problem much until my last match, where we literally had a guy with a gun that was headshotting everyone non-stop, and could just capture all flags on his own because he could just one-shot everybody non-stop. I can't really prove that he's cheating, but you know, it's quite obvious something's wrong. Either that or the guy's on some crack cocaine that gives him godlike attributes or something. But yeah, no current anti-cheat system is opening up your game to some trouble. But you know, if there's start to be a large amount of hackers, development team will have to take action. There's no way they can leave it that way. I understand they wanted to emulate the old games, but this is not something you should be emulating from the old games. Otherwise, for the rest of the game, it's really just a small shooter that you can pick up and start playing and have fun. And I have nothing too negative to say, except maybe the price for an early access. I understand there can be a massive amount of content that will be added on top, but right now, it does feel quite expensive. nearly $30 for me in Canada. I don't know. I'd value the game to about half of that. That will be a good price. 15, maybe 10 US, up to 15 US dollars. That sounds like a reasonable price, because right now it's just expensive. It's quite expensive. Another recommendation, I hope, in addition to the anti-cheat and the maybe a revision of the pricing, will be a little bit of tune-up on the aiming down the sight. It's really useless at the moment unless you're using the matching gun, and it's just not it's not intuitive enough to be used. Oh well, we can't really blame them for all of that since it's still early access. So hopefully we'll be seeing some updates, important updates, like the anti-cheat system, and there's also a little bit of performance. I do see there has been an update as of January 27th. I played after the update, and it seems like performance did get a little bit better. But beforehand, I could barely get 60 frames per second on the game, and I don't have a... And that was everything at low. And I don't have a machine that's so bad, so that was a bit suspicious, but the last update seemed to have fixed that. I kept the graphics at low and seemed to be running a steady 70 FPS, I'd say, even while recording. So some footage you'll be seeing here is before the upgrade, so may show as a little bit more laggy. Anyway, hopefully you have enjoyed this review of Days of War, and make sure to drop a like, share, and comment, and see you next time.